them so much.
Lady G, hi.
Hello, Lady G.
Hello.
Yeah.
And Dianne, I was just hearing your story about your town.
Yes, we are live. We are live, and we're going to discuss that right now. So, welcome everyone to HoDiGa's. We are HoDiGa's again, and this is going to be a very significant show tonight. There's a lot that has been happening. What has been going on in the world? We've got the Jan 6th. There we've got the gun issue, which is a very pertinent thing, and Dianne will be sharing a story today. Lots of questions for you guys came in. We've got about 7 questions to tackle tonight. So we'll try and get through them, but I think we'll do some one card pulls as well. A lot of ground to cover, some very, very powerful questions. Before we start, I'll just say hello. We've got Michelle J, Mojo, Electra Storm, Bless Your Soul, Patricia Franzino, Regina O'Rourke, and so many more. And just to mention here, now, please indulge me. I need to press a button here. One moment. On Memento. Right. Now, I'm so silly. Why am I doing that? This is about, we did some videos 2 years ago. Dianne will know these videos because that was you saw some of these videos and that's why we collaborated.
Oh.
We did some predictions about Ivanka and Donald Trump. I'm going to add them in the playlist after this video has gone live. That's when I can do in the post edit and I can add these things. And basically, I predicted the insurrection. And I also predicted as well that Ivanka would turn up in court against her father.
Yes. I remember that. I do.
Yeah, all that stuff. We've been talking about it for ages, but I just went back myself just to have a look. And I was like, it's been a couple of years. What did I say? Because no one can remember what they did from 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I had a look and I was like, oh my goodness. So rather than me just talking about it, anyone that's interested in the link after what happens after this video, take a look and it's just there in the playlist. And it's spooky, actually. It is spooky. But as we know, we have the Jan 6th Commission and all that stuff. So there are questions that are alluding to that. But first of all, I think we need to discuss one of the first questions I wanted to discuss before I even knew this thing that Dianne mentioned to me. And that, of course, is gun shootings. Yeah. So Dianne, would you mind sharing with us with what you feel comfortable sharing about what's happened in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so we actually had a shooting in my town today, and I'm in a rather touristy town because I'm here like right on the ocean. And as far as I know, we've never had a shooting before. We don't have much crime in this town. And we don't know if this person's going to make it. One person was severely injured and they were med flighted to, the city, and because our hospital wasn't equipped to deal. I mean, that's the thing. We don't have shootings, so our hospital wasn't, and it's a brand new hospital that just got like remodeled, and it couldn't handle these kinds of wounds. We're not a city hospital. So I mean, I was sitting here, just getting stuff ready for my members, and I just heard the fire and like the police and the ambulances and everything was just going by my house, and I was like, oh gosh, well, something's happening. And and as we all do, we go onto Facebook because my town has its own Facebook page, and people was like, oh my gosh, there's a shooting. And so our town police was not equipped to deal with it. So they had to call in other towns and the state police. And as far as I know, unless something's changed, the person is still out there.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is just phenomenal. It just doesn't happen here, right? That's what but I'm sure every place that has a shooting thinks that, well, it's been safe thus far, everything's fine. And, but you know what, it's not fine. And we do need to do something about these gun laws. This really isn't okay, because I was just at that beach just a few days ago. I mean, this is the beach that everybody goes to. It's gorgeous. They just remodeled the bathhouse. And, as a town, we sunk a ton of money into remodeling this, beach's property and everything. And it was shocking. Wow.
Wow.
I'm still not numb to it.
Yeah, of course. And it's so first of all, I mean, of course, it's very shocking. I mean, we know that there is essentially a gun pandemic, not even epidemic, pandemic in America. And as much as we see these things on the news, and I can imagine for you guys, it's even more, a lot of them they don't even report. But there is something that happens, isn't it? When it comes specifically, that's like a shooting happening in London Fields for me. Yeah, that is just opposite there. I mean, it's not that there's no gun crime in London, but it is still exceedingly rare. And essentially, for most Brits, when we step out of the door, the main thing we only have to worry about is the weather. You know, it is the weather. So, ladies, just your thoughts on that, which will segue us also as well into the opening question tonight. Lena and Ganga, what are your thoughts?
Lady G?
Yeah, I mean, they need to do something about the gun laws, that's for sure. It's just gotten crazy, and it's not going to get better until they finally will take action. You know, it's a long time in coming, and they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my fear at the moment for America is they'll come up with some sort of watered down gun laws just because the GOP's embarrassed now. Not horrified, not mortified, embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right? But it needs to be a cultural shift because there are simply so many hundreds of millions of guns out there. And I think the buyback system, on top of whatever laws they come in, and I think it should be funded by gun manufacturers, you know, pay for it. So we just destroyed another 3 tons of guns last week.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's an ongoing process. So if you think of the size of our place and so, what happens with gun buybacks? You'd be amazed the weapons that are handed in by the wives and girlfriends. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I mean, that would be nice if we did that. And, you know, but also too, like, I think if we had insurance on guns the way we do cars, because like that person that got med flighted, if he doesn't have health insurance, he is now bankrupt. His life is gone. So if he survives it, if he doesn't have health insurance, there's nothing out there. No, there's no safety net. So, I mean, that could easily go into the hundreds of thousands. His whole life is now ruined if he survives and doesn't have health insurance.
Absolutely.
So
I think that's a very good point. Insurance. And as we all know, you can't drive a car without a license. You should have a license and have to have insurance.
To
and
protect the victims.
That ironically would have an effect over 5 years and 10 years if that was across the board.
Yeah.
I think that's a good suggestion.
Indeed. Right. Okay. So let's start the show. So first of all, everyone, thank you so much for your questions. All of you are obviously joining the chat as well. And for those of you that were just joining in, I just saw one of the comments, and someone was saying that they missed the story. So there was a shooting on the beach, very close to where Dianne likes to go for a walk. And we're talking about the wider context of guns. And the question that I wanted to ask, so we've got 7 questions tonight. So we are going to try and go at some pace, but without, of course, compromising natural commentary and stuff like that. So so this is something that I saw, and in a way this is one of my ones, but how pertinent in a way. So there's going to be a March for Our Lives protest movement, which is essentially young people getting together to protest about guns. And isn't it interesting?
When is it?
I can't. Yes, it's 16th, something like that. Because as you can imagine, I'm watching lots of things, taking notes, and I might miss a little detail here and there.
Can someone in the comments please find out the date of that, because it's really important to push it.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's at different days, though. I think it depends upon what city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of spread out. It's kind
spread
of
out across the country. So I think it's,
Okay.
I don't know if there's one day. I got the impression that it was multiple dates. It depends on where you are.
I think it is. I think it is multiple dates, and it's going to be happening in a lot of states. So March for Our Lives. So basically, it's young people basically marching for their lives. And I was saying as well, with the eclipses that happened, it's not just about female reproduction. I also said, you remember I said, young people will be rising up in protest. Yeah, because Aries also means young people. And here we go. So it's been organized by what's his name? Where did I put his? I put his name here. That's it, David Hogg. So he was the survivor. Yeah,
Florida shooting.
the survivors, and he was on the MSBC show Lawrence O'Donnell. And what is it? Yeah, and then here. So what I've put here. What the question is, what will be the outcome of these protests held in several states? That's what I put in brackets. Will it lead to change? And that's the important thing. And while you're shuffling, I'll look at the comments. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Nuts for Art is saying ours is on Sunday. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Ours is on Sunday, June 12th. Most of the first are today. That's what Nuts for Art is saying.
Today. I mean, ironically enough, the city that's close to me, it was actually today. So.
Oh my God.
I mean, talk about irony.
Yeah. March for Our Lives today, June 11th, Washington, D.C. I would normally click on your names, guys, but because there's 4 of us in the StreamYard, it does take a long time to come up. So I'll just read out the names.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready here off the thing.
Yeah. Different states around the US. So there's gonna be quite a few. Just
from that terrible Florida school.
All right, go for it.
David Hogg and Emma Gonzalez just emerged as super beings, But here's what I've got. This is a very emotional issue with the Ace of Cups for everybody, but particularly for young people. I think they're exhausted in their young lives at not being protected better, not being valued, and this is their chance to express that emotion. Behind them, this is the ongoing ruthlessness. Now, that's the refusal of GOP candidates to do anything about gun reform and all of that. They're walking away from it. They've had enough. They've seen themselves and the American people being chained to the devil. And as we know with the devil card, it's time to deal with that. It is literally the underbelly of American lives, this Wild West fantasy. I saw one GOPer during the week going, well, the AR-7 and AR-15 is a weapon of choice to kill squirrels before they get our hens. That was the level of defense.
Wow.
After all that's happened.
Wow.
And he's a certain congressman.
Oh my God.
And the Chariot, it is going to move. It is going to move, and it's going to move at pace. It has to. There's no point this dribbling on for another 15 years. It has to move, and it's young people who are going to push it.
Okay, who would like to go next? Lady G or Dianne?
I'm ready. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, Dianne.
Dianne, go for it.
So I sort of feel like, the young people, but all of us, we're sort of waiting for that shift to come in. We're in this moment of waiting and just sort of looking out and what is going to happen next, I think, is what's going through our minds. And, we're being optimistic. But look at the obstacle, the priestess. That was 3 of Wands. Here's the priestess. Hidden motives, secret agendas, things that aren't out in the daylight that we're not talking about. And I think that does continue to be an issue for a while. But just like Lena, I did get the Chariot. The things are going to progress. They're going to move forward. But the Chariot only goes forward by taking control. Chariots don't move by happenstance. So we have to take control. And then here we go, the Sun. enlightenment, a new beginning, and here we have a baby. So it is about the younger people pushing this forward, because I mean, you have to remember, they're literally using backpacks that are bulletproof when they go to school now. I mean, this is where we're at. So of course they're sick and tired. I mean, they've experienced a reality that most of us can't understand. So I think they're very motivated. So I feel positive, but I don't know how fast it's going to happen.
Madness. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, above it, I have, there's been so much loss happening and death that's happened. And this is, of course, brought forward all the conversation. Like we said, HoDiGa's, from Parkland has been really in the trenches with this. So they're looking at the exchange and looking at what's happened. Not so happy with it, of course. Reevaluating and eating away at the stuff. The foundation is they want to put this to rest, take the mask off of it, really show the Republic Uglies for what they are, and using all the tools at their disposal to try to, it's hung up, but they're trying to get them to see from a different perspective, trying to educate them and say, what's going to be written in the books in history of this time.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, it's really good point. Really, really good point. Okay, the cards that I've got, I've also got the Chariot as well, but mine is turned up in a different position. So can you imagine, three of us? I don't even know how many time zones apart we are. It's just I always mean to count every day, but it just goes so wide. But let's say I think it's at least 17, something like that, when you put us all together. Okay, what do I have? I've got the Hierophant. But look, it's in reverse. Yeah. And the Hierophant represents what? Rules, regulations, government, stuff like
not taking control.
Right. Absolutely. Right. This is literally the government and everyone just not taking appropriate action. And this is pan administration, by the way, as well, because this has just been knocking on for ages. We know the GOP are the main bad guys here as well, but there have been other administrations as well. So this is really talking about government overall. No one government has yet really tackled this properly, because this has been going on for a long time now, a long time. What do I have in the opposition position here? Sorry, my lights are a bit bright. By the way, my ring light, that was dodgy last week. It was actually because it was just plugged into a different socket. Anyway, we've got the victory card here. So now I've got two lights. And we've got the victory card here, but it's in reverse. Yeah. So, of course, there's been the desire for victory, to march, to go ahead. But look, we can just literally take it as this. It's been met with what? Defeat, failure, because of the people who are so ideologically entrenched and so paid up by these lobbies, again for entertainment purposes only, that they are now morally bankrupt. Yes. Anyone, listen, I know a lot about squirrels, because I feed the birds outside. I feed the birds. And let me tell you, I had to get some serious kind of heavy-duty birdseed protector, self-protecting things to stop these greedy son of a you-know-what stealing all the feed from the blue tits. Yeah? Yes. Now, as frustrated as I was, I never thought in my mind that I needed a semi-automatic rifle
to deal with this issue. Didn't it?
Yeah. So what I did was I just went out and I bought a squirrel-proof bird feeder. That's what I did. Yeah. So maybe we can just, take those guns off the market. Or like you can buy the thingy bobs, but you can't get the bullets. Then it just becomes an ornamental thing. Imagine that. Ban the bullets. Anyway, never mind. I digress. Look what comes out next. Of course, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords. This is all the heartache, all the pain, etc. All of that stuff, which we well know, and it's just terrible. And I get the Chariot as well. So 3 out of 4 of us got the Chariot, but mine's reversed. So for me, what this says, especially on my outcome card, is look, here we go. It is it's the Knight of Pentacles. So when I look at those two, I'm thinking, even with all of this horror, Three of Swords, how much are they actually going to move on this? I hope it comes forward, but I'm feeling that it's going to take a ways yet. I think there will be movement.
Oh, of course. There's a comment here by LC Love My Pups. I work on a military base and no guns are allowed.
Right.
There you go. There you
Right.
go. There you go. When they're having their conferences, you're not allowed to bring guns into the conference. You know, with the gun lobby thing. When they meet the National Rifle Association, oh, guess what? Guns at the door, everybody. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It is
The hypocrisy is mind-bending.
Oh, it is insanity. Anything to add to that before we move on to our next question?
We've got to move on because we're a third of the way through the time.
Indeed. Right. So let's go for it. Now, international question here. Two international questions. This one's coming in from Nicola McFlattery, and it's a question about Germany and France. So, will Germany and France see their places as powerhouses diminish due to the war in Ukraine? And she's written Putinska, of course we know who that is, seems to have more control over them than just the energy supply. And I just want to add two little things. Germany apparently is upon the cusp of recession. Yeah, upon the cusp of recession. And thanks for that donation that's just come in. Another thing I want to say, again, for entertainment purposes only, President Macron, do you remember I was doing the comparison between he and Le Pen? And I found out something remarkable in his chart, which leapt out to me. And all I'm going to say is this. There may be questions around his sexuality that may come out in the future. I'm just saying, for entertainment purposes only. I'm just dropping a crumb there. And Putin as well allegedly has said he wants to be Peter the Great. Do you remember I said he wants to be Peter the Great?
Actually just come out and said it. Yeah.
He's actually said it now. Yeah. So, but just going back to the question, will Germany and France see their role as powerhouses diminish due to the war in Ukraine? Who's ready to go?
I'm ready.
Go for it. And let's see.
So the first card I get is the Seven of Cups. So looking at the other cards, they're not as grounded and as realistic as they could be. So maybe they're not looking at this in the right light. There are obstacles, the Hierophant. So the card of conformity and tradition. So what used to work in the past is not necessarily what's going to help them in the future. And the outcome, I get that there's going to be a drastic change for them. One where, here we go, Queen of Pentacles reversed, where they have some money challenges. They're not grounded. They're not being down to earth. They're having a difficult time. And then I get Four of Swords, pulling back, retreating, withdrawing.
Wow,
so, you got that too. So, yeah, exactly. So like a recession, especially when you pair it up with the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So they're in like a difficult time and losing power.
Wow. Oh, okay. Who's ready to go next? And just a thank you to Marion Ruffini for your donation. Who else do we have here? Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow. Forgive me. 3 have come in. Scott Allen, thank you so much. And who's the third? Firefly, thank you. Who's ready to go next?
I'll jump in here.
Great, go for it, Lena.
The sun came out on top with the sunflower for Ukraine. I love that.
Oh, of course.
Bless. Okay, here's the thing. I think their power, I think almost the opposite of the question. They're going to retain their power while the conflict in Ukraine is going on. I think it becomes more after that we'll see repercussions as they retreat after some resolution in Ukraine. But there's going to be legal things for both of them going on and on and on.
Wow.
On the upside, both have had issues with the populist far right, and both countries have not seen that come out in elections, which is a good thing. but there's going to be lots of legal issues about their role. But I think they will, despite the struggle, maintain their influence in the world. And the reason I think that is NATO was really drifting away. And then, ironically, by Putin doing this to, gird its loins, grit its teeth, get back in the saddle, Germany's militarizing at a rate it hasn't for 70 years. So I don't think it's the end of their power, but it's going to change how they relate to each other and the world.
Right. Fascinating. Yes. Very interesting. And Lady G, would you like to go ahead?
In the center of it, we have the difficult times dealing with all the nonsense out here, the maze of it, going through it. When it comes to new energy, kind of walking away, looking at something new that they may bring in. When it comes to the power structure, putting light on it and trying to find a higher way. But so it's kind of like they're caught in the maelstrom of which direction to go. What are we going to do?
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay. And so, my cards. Everyone's gone, yeah. Just to make sure, everyone.
Yes.
Good. So here, I get the Knight of Cups in reverse. And we know the Knight of Cups can do, it can deal a lot with romance. So I remember when I was doing this for a client reading, that this came up and it really was a romance card in that context. But this time it's come reverse. So you know who I think what this is about? Of course, this is the unfaithful knight. This is a night where you're wooed and seduced, and then there's a bun in the oven, and then you turn around and you're like, lover, husband, let's raise children together. And you don't see anyone there, and you're just alone in the bed, and you're like, oh my goodness. So for me, this is almost like the seduction of.
Oh, Hogarth disappeared. Oh my word!
How can the host disappear?
He just, imploded.
Interesting. I'm just reading a comment here. There are right-leaning gun ranges in the US where shooters can target and shoot Democrats in effigy.
Oh, I'm not surprised, but.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
That shouldn't be legal. If you're in a business, they are a business.
Exactly.
This is a shooting range. I'm sorry. You might expect someone to strap a picture to a tree in the backwater,
Right.
but that's bad. Welcome back.
What?
What did you
Do you know what is God? And I've accidentally removed.
People just come and go here.
It's magic.
This is just one second. Let me just. Oh my God! Do you know what?
Hey.
Obviously, maybe there are some people that are employed. Yeah. Maybe there are some people, because what's happened is that I've tried to click to get back in, and then I've accidentally clicked off Lady G. So look, I'm going to do mine at speed, because obviously the forces are at play. So look, Russia, don't you agree? Yes, the inappropriate, the seductive offer that turns out not to be as good as you would have liked. Sorry, folks, that I vanished, but sometimes that happens. This is Temperance. Temperance in reverse, which means what? A lack of chemistry. So if we think of this kind of infiltration, this seduction, but there's this kind of lack of chemistry in the economies, something not working out quite right. Page of Pentacles. Pentacles, of course, is about money, but also about values. But this is also dealing with what? Youth, young people. The youth are very upset, disenfranchised. If it were not for the Ukraine war, I think Marine Le Pen would have done even better.
Absolutely. It killed her off in the best possible way.
Right. And even then, she still got 40% of the vote. So look, this is a lot of young people that are disenfranchised, annoyed because they don't have what? They don't have any money and they can't get on the housing list and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot bubbling under tonight, by the way. So sorry for the chop outs, but what can I do? Sometimes these things happen. If we look here, 10 of Swords, 10 of Swords. So there is a sense in many ways, and I think this is very true of many Western developed countries, economies in particular, which is that a lot of people feel betrayed by the system. They don't feel like that it is supporting them. Yeah, the elites we know are absolutely happy.
True.
Right. Yeah, they're absolutely happy, but everyone else, we're feeling what? Stabbed in the back. And of course, all of these things, all of these prices coming up. And then look, what do I get as the outcome? 4 of Pentacles, which is what? Trying to hold on to what? Resources, funds, assets. So on one level, there is a lot of greed by certain people in the economy who are just holding on to stuff. And this can also talk as well about the price gouging and stuff like that. But this is also ordinary people counting their pennies. Even in the UK, they said it's something like up to 70% of people are actually worried about the economy. And they've actually found people are actually buying less food. Literally buying less, let alone,
it's a real problem. And Boris Johnson, who survived his near-death experience last week, but he came out yesterday and said, well, sorry to break the news, you'll have to accept wage cuts.
Is that what he said?
He said yesterday, get used to it, you're going to get wage cuts. People are eating less food,
right?
And he's talking about wage cuts. But this is global. People have to wake up. We are all living in oligarchies. We point the finger at Russia, but you've got these ultra wealthy personalities where 1% owns 90% of the wealth everywhere.
Yeah.
And unless we, the peasants, stand up with our pitchforks, it will not change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It is in many ways, these things used to sound like conspiracy theories before, but now we realize, yes, there is a hegemony out there, again, for entertainment purposes only, but it's becoming nakedly obvious now. It really, really is. So, of course, change, we have to have different politicians. I've got a new nickname as well for Boris Johnson because he's so outrageous. So my new name for him now is Captain Butterpig. Yeah.
Butterpig.
Butterpig. Butterpig. Now, why do I say that? Because one of the previous James Cameron, one of the previous Tory prime ministers, he said Boris Johnson is like a greased piglet. Whenever you try to it slips out the fingers. But because his powers of survival are so almost superhuman, I was just like, Captain Butterpig. It's a bit extravagant, but really, I like the mop. I really feel he is a mop.
Or Yeti too.
Yeti too. He's sort of like the peanut version, though, isn't he? He's the peanut version of the big Yeti, shall we say, the fluff ball. So we discussed that, didn't we? Okay, are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
We need to be. Let's move on.
So this one's coming from Jenny Brown. Now, this is going back to the USA on this one. So she says, hello, can you tell us what the outcome will be regarding the USA gymnastics team suing the FBI? Yeah, about this one. This is a big one, big hot button topic for the FBI for the poor handling of the Larry Nassar investigation. Will this lead to taking victims of sexual assault more seriously? So let's just read on that. What's the outcome of that? Very pertinent question.
Larry Nassar, wasn't it?
Yeah. And someone's written here, so that's Mark Mackenzie's written, wealth consolidation is the root of our suffering. Indeed. Thank you so much for your donation. And who else? And Catherine Winston, thank you so much. Whoever's ready to go first, just declare and go for it.
I am ready. So the first card I get you know, Three of Swords, I don't think it's surprising because there is so much heartbreak and heartache with this. I mean, we're talking about these young girls that were victimized. They weren't listened to. They weren't taken seriously. And the obstacle, the Temperance card, you know, if it's not the obstacle, it's great because it talks about balance and harmony and healing. It's an angelic card. And I don't think these girls are going to fully heal until they get some sort of validation and recognition for everything that they've been through. But I think they're going to get it because here's the Sword of Truth, Ace of Swords. The truth is going to come out. And then Six of Wands, the card of triumph and victory after a battle. So I think they're going to be fine, but I think emotionally and psychologically, they have a ways to go. But I think they're resilient. I think they're going to do it, but they've been traumatized.
Yes. And over a long period of time. I'll jump in here. This is them with the
fascinating. Who's ready to go next?
This is them speaking up about their trauma and disappointment and what happened, right? That's there. So I moved to my little Italian cards. I agree with Dianne. This is ongoing and stressful for them. This is dottore. This is affecting still their physical health and their mental health. This is not over for them as individuals. Their innocence and everything else was stolen from them. Firstly, by the perpetrator. Secondly, by that next tier of organisations that didn't act. And thirdly, now it's, you know, they're exhausted by it and they're not seeing a satisfactory result in any way. They'll be given, this is consolation prize. In other words, they'll be given a little something, possibly compensation, but it doesn't touch the sides. This is not a satisfactory outcome that I'm seeing, no. Of anyone learning anything.
Wow.
Okay, well, betrayal. Struggle, betrayal, light being shed on it. Going into it, they're going to look deeper at these things and, you know, again, the slice and dice things that happen behind the scenes with these girls. It looks like there are going to be some out there talking about it, maybe trying to get some help from government with it, and perhaps writing some books. Somebody may get a book deal out of it.
Yeah, there'll be something, but this is not the groundbreaker.
No.
Hoagie?
Indeed.
Okay.
I just want to check in with everyone. How are we doing on sound? Because for me it's breaking up, but can we hear each other okay? I just wanted to touch in there.
Yeah.
I can hear everyone else,
are we doing,
and you're breaking up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So it could be, I don't know what's going on, but there we are. I'm hoping that your dulcet tones, Lena, will stabilize the internet connection again.
Oh, yes. Let me work on this.
All right, so what do I have here? I think mine's quite optimistic overall. I have the 10 of Wands to describe the situation. This is going to be work. Yeah, let's just take it literally. This is gonna be work. Someone said in the comments, I think it's Darren, the Washington Post said they are suing the FBI for billions, but this is the FBI, yeah, and again for entertainment purposes only, which are institutions that have a habit of closing ranks and trying to, you know, protect themselves. So this is going to be work. However, I've got Wheel of Fortune that's come in the obstacle position, but reversed. So it looks like maybe luck is not so easy. This is the FBI. Yeah, just think about it. Trying to sue the FBI. However, the next card I get is so it's looking like that there could be a breakthrough here, which is the happy family. Yeah, the happy family, the successful family. And then the outcome, that's 10 of Cups, and then the outcome here is the 9 of Pentacles. which of course is the independent woman or independent person. So this is what I'm thinking. This is going to happen. I think, kind of like Lena's saying, I think there's going to be some kind of private, either public or private payoffs. Payoffs.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and pay these ladies off potentially, which could lead to more financial security for them going forward. But also as well, this could be, it could be where their thoughts, where they get a chance to have their experiences validated as well in public. So I'm seeing this as quite a positive outcome
is
overall.
A really big point here.
Yeah.
I think they'll make some progress, but like with Lena saying, will it be earth shattering? I'm not sure, but I think, has Dianne?
And you're saying, what I was going to say was, this reminds me, why did the Catholic Church horrifying behavior go on for hundreds of years? Part of the problem with sports coaches is they're revered by the parents, right? So parents who do anything to protect the kids, in other thing, you get accepted by a top-notch coach and they become mini gods. You know, that has to change. I don't know what's happened with this sound. It's terrible.
I'm getting an echo and a bit of a lag with Hogarth.
Yeah, I'm getting a lapse on occasion with Hogarth. Everybody else.
I know. We're just having. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going. Damn. I think honestly, my internet connection is fine. I've been surfing fine all day, but I think it's just the energy. Also, as well, these questions are quite intense as well, and they're going to ratchet up. So let's go at speed before everything chops out. Okay, so question number 4, and this is coming from Clyde Terry, and I've blended it together with Maria Ramos because it's covering the same thing. This is very pertinent. Quite a long one here. When or what is the turning point for Biden and the Democrats to recover the economy enough that people are no longer angry over inflation, gas prices, crime, and violence, etc.? There has to be a complete, or at least 180-degree shift for us to turn it around so the American people will back the Democrats in November and in 2024. So let's read on that. Can the Democrats turn it around? And remember what I said, even though I know it wasn't very popular at the time, I said the theme of 2022 will be inflation and stuff like that. And what did I say? I said they're going to blame it on Biden. Yeah, that's the obvious thing, isn't it? And this is what's
every election. You blame it on the incomers.
Right. But in a way, I feel like what Clyde is asking is that it by blaming these, you know, everyone in the world is having issues. We know this right now. But it's low-hanging fruit, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's low-hanging fruit, and it resonates a lot with people. All the Democrats, we had to turn it around. Anyone who's ready to go?
I'm ready. So the first card I get, 7 of Wands.
And who else do we?
They're sort of like by themselves, trying to figure this out on their own, fighting it out.
Brilliant. Go for it, Dianne.
Lots of heartache and heartbreak going on right now. 2 of Swords. They have a lot of decisions to make. They need to figure this out. Ultimately, I do see them doing it, but until they get there, 9 of Swords, lots of stress, worry, anxiety. 5 of Cups, grief, sorrow, depression. But then ultimately they do straighten things out. There becomes a balance of money, a balance of power. Decisions will be made. But as you see, there's a whole process that they seem to have to go through first.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
Good luck, Hoagie, again.
Lady G,
Well,
do you want to go?
Yeah, I might as well just go. But in the center of it, I've got, the energy trying to figure out how to go forward. Underneath of it, we have them, doing what they can to move energy. Above it, looking at the financial drama and trying to take as much action as they can from the top. But there will continue to be judgments about it. He's not going to. They're going to blame him, play the blame game, no matter what he tries to do.
Yes, I agree with that. But here's the thing. The question is why, in a way, why are the Dems out in the cold with that money? They have to explain better in bite-sized pieces what is happening, that it is a global phenomenon. And Americans aren't good at hearing that because, America is the beginning and end of the entire world for many people. And it's hard to explain that. But who's got the money and who's got the fool's gold? This should be a chance for them to talk about financial inequality. So this is our chance to tax the very wealthy who aren't suffering more.
Exactly.
Use it as a springboard, fling around apologizing, be more assertive, go on the attack. There would be more money in the coffers if the tax cuts to the rich hadn't gone through under Trump. Take it back to the GOP. Not everyone's going to buy it, but you're in a political fight for your life. Now, this is not a normal election. They've got to fight hard. They've got to fight dirty. And part of it is being able to get, and I don't think it's Pelosi and Biden, you need to get the younger ones out, that next tier, the Katie Porters of people out who can explain really complex national dynamics in 2 sound bites. They're really good at it. Get them out there.
Right.
Explain to people who is taking their money.
Right.
People have to understand government money is their money.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And they don't get it. They really don't get it. I want a small government. Well, do you? Because then you're going to get less of everything.
Right.
So explain that government is you. You have a role. It is your money. What is being done with it? And it could be and needs to be an intergenerational wake-up call. They can't just limp on as they've been doing. Limping is not going to get them over the line. They've got to go hard.
Indeed, indeed. Right, so I'm here for, we'll have to see for how long, just in case I get cut off again.
Yes, spit it
I'm just
out.
gonna let rip. So here we go. This is the Democrats contemplating, humming, contemplating, what to do, and the other, But this is not a card of speed, is it? The 7 of Pentacles. It is not a card of speed. It's all about contemplation, reflection. Oh, where is my investment going? Oh, will inflation go up or down? Umming and ahhing. Yeah, there's all of this. But then look, what's this about? Ace of Pentacles, but it's come in what? The block position. This is like, they need to understand. You remember when they said, when it came to politics, and someone said, it's about the economy, dummy. Yeah, I can't remember who said that, but people are feeling it in their pockets, and the Democrats need to go gangbusters on this, explaining to everyone what is going on. Enough of this passivity. It's I know a lot of people that watch this channel and what have you are Democrats, and we look, we're going for it. Lena and I support the Democrats. This is genuine frustration.
Yes.
Coming out from a place of love.
Yeah, this isn't just taming the Dems.
Right. They need to go for it. The GOP are psychopaths. They are psychotic people. and they need to be dealt with. We've got literally kids being decapitated literally by guns and bullets. We've got places like Dianne's place, which is a quiet, sleepy place, and even you've been touched on it in your area. There's so much gun violence, it's not even being reported on the news, let alone all of the other stuff. So look, it's time for the Democrats to take a leap of faith.
Yes, they must take it to the next level.
They must take a leap of faith, or they will end up looking like fools. Yeah, because we know what the other side are doing, and we know what they stand for. Yeah, they is evil. Yeah, but anyway, we'll leave it there. Not every Republican is evil, of course. You know who we're talking about, the hardcore. Justice card, Major Arcana reversed. So we can literally just take that. Where is the justice? Where is the action? Look how long it's taken now. I'm very glad the committee are getting stuck in, and we've been seeing stuff that we've not seen before. Great, all good. But are we going to tackle here? Look, the King of Pentacles reversed. This is the oligarchy that we're talking about. The dark money that is so suffused through the politics, where you need millions upon millions to even have a chance of anything. All of these lobbyists, look at Ginny Thomas, literally she may as well just run through Congress bare-breasted and just say, look at me, yeah, right. You can't touch me, I'm Lady Godiva. Do you know what I mean?
And she doesn't look like a worried woman.
No. She doesn't at all. No. Because here...
Now, Sharon Donnelly, oh, sorry.
No,
Sharon, I'll come back to your comment in a minute.
No problem, because here the King of Pentacles reversed is what? It's when it's gone sour, when it's gone malign, when it goes to dark money, when it's just money for money's sake. This becomes the immoral king, the one that's prepared to do anything to hold on to his cash. So that's what we're dealing with. Anyway, sorry, Lena, you were saying.
Yes, Sharon Donnelly in the comments said, people need to find out how much it costs to produce 1 gallon of gas, and that's not even 50 cents a gallon. The rest is profit.
Right.
So the Dems are really always afraid of that, being seen too radical, too left. It's no longer radical. It's no longer left. It's just what is. Tell people where they are being gouged for profit at any cost. That may accidentally radicalize the nation because it needs it. Yeah. You know, it's pendulum swings.
It needs to be explicitly clear. Okay, so...
sorry, this is 1929 again. It needs radical action.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And also as well, all of this modesty and fair play, just look at your opposition, understand what they are, that it is just totally psychotic. What's the point of trying to play fair or nice or sweetie pie with opposition that are psychotic? There's no point.
And here's the thing. People respond to strength consciously and unconsciously. So being nice now in this era of history is actually putting people off.
Yeah. Yeah, because people are in pain, they're suffering, they see all of the prices going up, and this is just what we refer to in Europe as realpolitik, which is that people decide on their pocketbooks. Yes. And it's not to dismiss the subtleties of the arguments. We know that it's very complex, but at the end of the day, you need to put gas in your car, you need to put food on the table, you even need to feed your pets. And when people see the price going up and up and up, what happens? Their anger goes up. And then the other side, which is psychotic, they go, it's them, it's those over there. And then, you know, the Democrats are there, 7 of Pentacles going, oh, they're saying nasty things about us.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I have to explain.
Indeed. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. This is a real humdinger. So Audrey Campbell has asked, do you see Attorney General Merrick Garland keeping his job? Oof, I thought that was very juicy. Yeah, as we go, I think this is probably going to have to be the last question. We've only got 6 minutes left. Can you believe it?
Yeah, let's see how we go.
So that's the other questions that everyone submitted. Thank you, everyone. We'll carry them over to the
Merrick Garland lose his job.
next week. Will Merrick Garland keep his job? Thank goodness for the Jan 6 committee to kind of shine the light in the way. They're practically doing the job for him, in my opinion.
Yes, they've literally given him the roadmap.
Merrick Garland's really
Okay. I can go.
Go for it,
Okay.
Diane.
So the first card I get is the devil. I think he's going to have some challenges, you know, and for me, this oftentimes represents the GOP, the greediness and all of that, you know, the sinfulness, right? So he's going to have a hard time. And I do get in the obstacle position, 3 of Pentacles reversed. So it's sort of like, to some degree, he's lost support of the community, those around him, maybe people that once supported him are pulling back a little bit. So decisions are going to have to be made. They're going to have to figure this one out. But ultimately, here he is working and making money. So 8 of Pentacles. I think he will keep it, but I think he's going to be challenged.
Who's ready to go next there, Lena or Lady G? Lady G?
I'll go. I'm doing just the Lenormand real quick. The message is going to come. You know, he's anchored in with things. You know, holding on. There's going to be talk, of course, but he's got his contract. He's going to stay.
Yeah, I think, look, he feels his hands are tied.
Real good, or is it me again?
That's a worry.
Did I freeze?
If he's the most powerful man in the country and he feels his hands are tied, that's not good.
Yeah.
I think he'll be kept in the job, but more behind the scenes, which is actually what he's doing. We think of his name when we think of the DOJ, but actually, of course, there's hundreds of prosecutors working dozens of cases, you know. So I think he's going to take a lower profile, but I was thrilled and relieved to see my Thank God America card has turned up. So I would say he'll keep going, but more behind the scenes.
We'll have to see. Okay, I'll quickly go. So genealogy junkie has asked one last important question: do you see HoDiGa expanding to a 2-hour program?
I think we need one. We just get warmed up.
Maybe we'll do one marathon. We will call them marathons, but they would be scheduled in. But we have to. 2 hours is quite a long show, right? So I'm going to get stuck in. Look at this, Lena. You and I get the Hermit as well. So look, this is him. Yeah. This is him. Look, I think this guy is an introverted guy. I'm just literally going to go on the intuition here. I think this is a book nerd. This is someone who likes, I'm here in my little tower and I'm going through the books and I'm checking everything and I'm being a good boy and I'm doing this, that, and the other. Why all of us out here are pulling our hair and just being like, just break down the wall, just arrest them, just get anyone, anything. As these GOP are frothing at the mouth, basically admitting we did it. Oh my God. And they can't even contain. They can't even stop incriminating themselves. Anyway, so this is Merrick Garland, the Hermit. Bless him. Bless him. What's the obstacle? Look, Ace of Wands, which is all about what Wands are all about: heat, fire, passion. But look, it's come in the obstacle position. So we're looking at this Hermit here. He's going over the nerdy details about this, that, and the other. And of course, yes, it's important to do your job. But where's the passion? Yeah, where's the heat? You know, to their credit, the GOP have got no problem when it comes to passion. We know they've got way too much. They are rabid, for entertainment.
Right.
Only. Rabid, passion is not one of their issues. Here, Major Arcana again, Justice card here. Everyone is waiting for the justice. Yes, these things take time, but come on, some of this stuff is pretty obvious. Most of the key characters have double, tripled, incriminated themselves. They should have been indicted ages ago. We know it all now. We know it all. Here, Page of Wands. Wands again is about passion, but look, it's reversed. So again, it's this kind of like one. Pages are all about messages. We know that, don't we? So it's almost like, where is the dialogue? Where are the messages coming out of the DOJ? Is it going to be turned the right way? Are we really want to get them going? But of course, the Jan 6th committee in a way is sort of helping with their job a great deal, because they are laying it all out beautifully. So again, credit to the Jan 6th. And as I said, Liz Cheney will be the star of the show. Final outcome card. Even though she's a massive hawk, but you know, she's the lady. She's the lady.
They need a hawk.
Yeah.
They need a vulture.
Absolutely.
They need a bald eagle. They need all those birds of prey.
Absolutely. And she can do it. And she's coming into her manifest point of destiny. So she is the right woman for the job. But when we look here, 4 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. Not 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups reversed. We know what this card is about. It's about not liking the options. And in a way, it's almost, when I put this together, first and last, Hermit, and the 4 of Cups, it's almost like he would, like you said, Lena, in a way, and what we're all picking up in the cards, this is a man who wants to be in the background. He doesn't like being pushed. He doesn't like being pressured. There's almost like there's this introverted stubbornness that he has in the way, which is that I'm going to do things in my own quiet way, and I will reveal my hand, as it were, when I see fit. But that is not appropriate for the times now. We've got people who are actively trying to destroy democracy in America. This is all stations. This is state of emergency, hair on fire stuff. So let's hope it changes. Let's hope there is some passion that comes in. And when the DOJ, after the Jan 6, have led the way so beautifully, which they'll continue to do, we need to see the hammer and tongs coming out here. And we need fire and brimstone, because we need deterrence, because they are planning all sorts. Anyway,
and they get bolder each day of simpering delay. They get bolder and they're out there. Like, if they kept Bannon in jail, he wouldn't have been free for the last year to rally tens of thousands of people every day on his podcast. Why aren't they at least gagged? Like, gag them. I think we should give the last word to Azalea. She's optimistic. She thinks one day he, Merrick Garland, is just going to surprise and arrest lots of people.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I hope. I really hope. Well, the time has absolutely sped through. And my goodness, what topics we covered today. Very intense, very passionate. Even the internet connection was, I think, just sensing all that tumult and turmoil. He said, I don't know what's going on. This is my good laptop, by the way. I didn't even dare go to the other one.
Honey, it's time to go to the shop.
No, but this is lovely. I think honestly, it's the energy.
It's the energy.
Intensity, because we're all asking, thirsting for answers, because we all see the truth, don't we? Look, most of us, 95% of America is, gets it pretty much. A lot are in denial, but most people get it. And it's just this frustration that's coming out with this, again, this tiny people at the top. And we need change, don't we? We're all hungry and thirsty for change. But anyway, so next week, folks, we've got to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for the donations. Dianne, thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for the questions, guys.
Yeah, thank
absolutely.
you. Before we go, I want to apologize for everyone. You can see I've got big dark circles today. I look like something from The Exorcist. I've been fighting Lyme disease, and I feel like I've got pea soup fog in my brain today. So I am not on my game today.
Well, you are a trooper, because I didn't know.
No.
Yeah, I think you did great. So questions that weren't asked, there were 2. They'll just have to roll over to next week. But next week we'll be asking about failed coup stuff, 25th Amendment, and hurricanes in the Caribbean. We'll ask that next week, because that's still going to be pertinent and relevant
And
Thank you,
also,
everyone,
Kim Thompson wants to
for
know what's going to
joining us
happen
this
with the British
evening.
royal family after the Queen passes. We can put that on the list.
Last week. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's
Yes.
been wonderful. We really appreciate this. We know a lot of people are really growing very fond of this show, and we love putting it on for you. We will be back next week, of course, with your questions. Put those over. Thank you again to the ladies for sharing their incredible gifts and talent and wit and panache and beauty with us all. And we will see you next week, everyone. Thanks so much. All right.
Bye.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone. Let me just see if my computer is actually going to let me click off this thing now, actually.
Yeah.
Now it's gone the other way, so now
You can't
no,
leave.
it can't actually click off. No, the broadcast won't end. Jesus. Holy moly. You know what? I'm going to have Shakespeare. Let Shakespeare have the last word because I'm trying to click off.
Oh, yes, please.
And let's see here. What does Shakespeare have to say to it? Oh, there's two of you. The devil and the devil make a third. That would be my laptop. So everyone, you know what I mean? I'm trying to click off to actually end the show, and I can't end the show. Do you know what? Let's do a one-card pull on the hurricane season. How about that? Because I literally
Still
can't
on, everyone. We're going to do a one-card pull on the hurricane.
Can't leave.
I can't end the show. This is just crazy. I might have to leave and then
During
come
the show,
back in.
you can't stay on, and now you can't end it.
Wow.
Apart from that, it's going smoothly.
Oh, indeed. So this came in from Annabelle Sukal, and she said, please read on the hurricane season in the Caribbean, which begins this month. Will we be spared the havoc of multiple deadly Cat 4 and Cat 5 hurricanes? And just to add a little bit of spice to that, I do think the situation in Texas with Abbott and Beto, I said it off camera before, I think that nature's hand will intervene.
I've said this.
I'll have you as well. Yeah. Nature's hand. Oh, my card just jumped out.
What have you got?
Okay, wait. Okay. Well, look, I got stinky fish. Sorry. Page of Cups. Might not be good. What did everyone else get?
I got the moon, so big tides, stuff coming in.
Yeah. What
I
about
got
you, Dianne?
9 of Wands, the card of perseverance. So
Yeah.
be tested, unfortunately.
Tested.
I got the Knight of Swords. Look at those hurricane winds.
Yeah, so
Galloping into the winds.
it's not looking good.
It's going to be a tricky one,
I think it's
unfortunately.
gonna be tough.
There's a lot of energy, and I think we're going to be talking a lot about hurricanes and stuff like that this year. So the end broadcast.
Be prepared, be packed, ready to go to the high ground. Have your pet boxes and everything ready to go. Know what you're doing. Gas in the car.
Yeah,
and don't sort of drag your heels and think.
Pack one bag that's of your most important documents and things that you cannot lose and be ready to go.
Yeah, and even things like that you can leave with other relatives if you could, so that you don't even have to think about them on the day.
Yeah,
exactly.
We tend to have someone in every family who looks after everybody. If their house burns down, we will lose everything. But we leave those things there because often we have to move for bushfires or floods or something. So really think about it and be ready.
Indeed. Well, thank you everyone so much. The end broadcast button has finally showed up. So this time we might actually be able to leave it now. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you got a lot out of that. And we will see you soon. Much love to everyone. All right.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.